There is no woman in this world that settles more than a man. There is no woman in this world that settles more than a man. Okay? Once a man decides what role a woman is playing in his life, there's a 90% chance she's playing that role for life, okay? I don't give a damn if he plays her in the hoe range, the just talking to, the date sometimes, the girlfriend, or the wife, okay? And if this, particularly tickles your fancy, you want to be his wife and you become his wife, he's not leaving you, whatever you want to secure, you have managed to secure. Congratulations, okay? Like, men could hate the life that they're living. But they're loyal to the duty of it all. You know what I'm saying? Loyal to the duty. Especially if he's like a normal functioning man. Like, basically what I mean is he doesn't belong to the ain't shit category. And you throw like kids into the equation. The wife and the man have had children. I do not care what that woman has done. The man is staying with her. Okay? She could single-handedly be making that man's life worse. And he is still going to be with her. Okay? The only thing remotely close that will actually make the man leave the woman, if that is his wife, right, is if this man runs into the girl that feels like his dream girl or the spark or special or whatever the hell, right? I don't know what be going in their mind, what be going in their head. But he runs into this girl and she makes him feel like she evokes something out of him, right? And he perceives that she's about like 80% better than his current partner, okay? And he has the courage to actually leave for said girl, okay? Because that's an important part. Most men are just going to cheat with her. You're still safe. If whatever you wanted to secure in, that marriage, that was the exception of sexual loyalty, you're still gonna receive it, okay? That's the good news to hear. But other than that, a man is in it for the long haul. So you've pretty much got to do something major to fuck that up.
This is just a traditional mindset. And really, it's a male trait. Once a man commits to a woman, it's just in them to want to take care and protect that woman. And a lot of factors play into this too. The times that we live in too, it's very expensive to just pick up and leave. It's very costly. Let's not forget that point. But really, it's in a man to take care of a woman in general, and just be around. I mean, even the side chicks get taken care of. It's just in a man to do this kind of thing. It's really no surprise.
The number one reason why I connect to my 98% male community on here, and why I feel like you guys do not appreciate me enough, is because I stand up for men, even being an educated woman who knows what the fuck is wrong with society. I'm a feminist. I don't think that the patriarchy is good, and yet I still care for individual men. I'm educated, but I'm aware enough to know that the systems are systems, not individuals. So I don't stereotype every single man. I care about men. And I care about the growth of men as a whole, as a society. And I care about the mutual respect and understanding one another. Y'all don't appreciate me enough, because most women who respect men are women who are not educated, don't respect themselves, and or are women who are just super unaware of how fucked up society is toward women. And they just want a male's approval, right? I know how fucked up it is, and I still care about y'all.
I mean, it's simply just having the awareness that there's issues on both sides. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. There's a way on how we arrived and got here. And it's never on one side. It seldom is. You tend to see a lot of finger pointing and a lot of content made around, this side or the other side. And, like, until we get it and know that there's something that was put in place to get us to this point as well. I mean, there's very many things that lead to this point what we are witnessing now. And once we are able to pinpoint those things, and we can start to look to the solutions, but it looks like it's very far from getting to that.
I heard the other day somebody say that women struggle with more mental health issues than men. And I'm like, that ain't true. The truth is, men struggle just as much as women. But the difference is, as women, we talk about it more than men do. Y'all battle a lot in your minds every single day, and you have a position that needs to be held, and you have a lot on your shoulders. I can understand that. But study shows that 40% of y'all don't speak about what you're going through, and about 77% of you guys fall into depression, stress, anxiety, or even decide to take your own lives. I get it though. Like, society told y'all that y'all have to be tough, y'all have to keep your ego up and show no weakness. But hear me though. Y'all were meant to lead, but also lean. So lean on God, lean on your brothers, lean on the people that care about you. You know, the Bible says that be strong and courageous, for your Lord your God is with you wherever you go. And that's Joshua 1:9. Yo, right there, that just shows real strength that God just told you you can't do this by yourself. Say something to somebody. Your life matters, your voice matters, and your healing matters. God did call you to lead, but also to lean.
Where we're not supposed to talk about these things. We're supposed to be the tough ones. We have to be the support system and show a strong front. So, of course, males aren't supposed to talk about these things, or at least that's the stigma out there. And so you don't hear about this. And even the ones that try to bring it up, I guess there's an effort here and there. This is what men have to take with what comes with being this gender, I guess. I don't know. We definitely need the help. We're not supposed to ask for it. Or at least we're made to feel like we're not. So I don't know. I don't know how we could find a solution to this. We definitely have to sit down and figure this whole thing out.
Hi. So I would love to not play games. I would love for things to be easy, but y'all don't like things that are easy. Like, I would really love to show up and be like, hi, I like you. And then they say, oh my gosh, that's great. I like you too. And then I'm like, okay, great. So what do you want to do about that? And then they say, hey, how about we spend some time together? And then I would say something like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, we can spend time together. What day works for you? And then they would tell me what day works for them. I would tell them what day works for me. And then we would go on a date. And then after that date, they would say, hey, did you have a good time? And I would say, yes, I actually really enjoyed myself. And they'd say, I really enjoyed myself too. Do you want to do it again? And then I'd say, absolutely, let's go on another date. And they would say, okay, cool. What day works for you? I would say what day works for me. And then they would say what day works for them. And then we'd find something in the middle of those days, or we would pick a day that works for the both of us the best day. Then we went on that second date. I would say, hey, I had a really great time. Did you enjoy yourself? And they'd say, I really enjoyed myself too. And then they'd say, let's spend some more time together. And I'd say, yeah, I think we should spend more time together. What kind of time were you thinking about? And then they would say, like, I think like once a week. And then we talk on the phone every other day. And I say, that works for me. But I'd actually like to build to more time together, because I would like to spend more time than once a week together. And then they would say, oh, okay, yeah, I can keep that in mind while we're hanging out once a week and we're talking on the phone. And then I'd say, okay. And then they'd say, okay. And then we would talk on the phone every day. And then we would go and spend time together in person once a week. And then after we did that like 4 or 5 times, they would say, hey, you know what? I really enjoy your company. Do you want to spend more time together than once a week? And I'd say, absolutely. And then they would say, how much time works for you? And then I would say about 3 times a week. And we still talk on the phone every day. And they'd say, yeah, that works for me. Then we do that for like a year, right? And then they would come to me and they would say, hey, I've been enjoying spending time with you 3 times a week and talking on the phone every day. Would you enjoy like maybe not doing this with anyone else? ever again and only spending time with me? And I'd say, yeah, I'd love to only spend time with you. That sounds amazing. And then they would say, do you think we should tell our friends? And I would say, yeah. And then we would tell all of our friends, and then we would have a big party, and then there would be a DJ, maybe some cake. We'd announce it to all of our friends and family while I wore a really pretty dress that we will no longer be physically intimate with anyone else, and we will be filing our taxes together until we die. And then all of our friends would be super excited. They'd say, yay, and give us gifts. And then we would spend the rest of our lives together doing what we said we were going to do, hanging out and filing our taxes together. But y'all don't want to do that. So here we are, swiping on apps. It could all be so simple.
What a beautiful world that would be, right? Everything just perfectly worked out. No issues, man, and everything just fell right in place, man. That would be awesome. Fortunately, we're living in today.
I have to say I feel sorry for some of you men out there in the dating world, because it is 2025. I'm a 38-year-old female, and these women out here even confuse me. Some women out here putting Jesus in their bio, but then you go look at their stuff and it's nothing but thirst traps, lustful, seductive content. I mean, the modern day woman calls serving your husband oppression, but yet will have no problem going out and serving a male boss and cry that that's empowerment. And real feminine energy is not sexual marketing like the modern day woman might tell you. Y'all are getting seduction and femininity like completely confused. And I've said it before, but a lot of women have this long laundry list of unrealistic criteria that they want in a man, but yet they bring nothing to the table. And we don't talk about that. We tell the women, no, you are a queen, you will be treated as such, but we're not teaching women how to be wives these days. And I would go out on a limb and say that most of the women out in the modern day dating culture do not actually have standards. They have entitlement and accountability, a woman's kryptonite. Some of you ladies are going to die alone, still blaming men for the choices that you made.
It's just very blurry out there, you know? It's just hard to really find out what's real and what's not. So a lot of men just choose to move how they feel the best way is, which is just get out there and just play, man. To really try to get serious gets you in a lot of crazy situations, and then you're just blindsided, while trying to find something serious and meaningful, and you're just met with this crazy side that you did not expect. So it's hard to get clear vision, and this is partly why you don't find a lot of serious situations now, man, even on these dating apps.
I had family court today, and I gave my child's father everything he was asking for. And I'm going to tell you why. My child's father had been on child support for almost a year up until recently when he chose to leave his job. Over that almost year that I was receiving support, I was very appreciative of it. It was a great help, and it took a huge weight off of my shoulders. However, the whole child support thing was a constant conflict between myself and the other parent, and the conflict began to outweigh the actual benefit of receiving money for my child. So when I was served paperwork for a request of motion to lessen the child support, I gave my daughter's father a call. He essentially told me that he would be willing to sign over all of his rights to our daughter and give me full custody if I take him off of child support, which is something that we had talked about previously. I made the decision to close out the child support case. I wanted to give my daughter's father the opportunity to step up as a father outside of the courtroom, and I didn't want a legal obligation being the only reason why he was participating in his daughter's life financially, physically, etc. My daughter is at an age now where she's old enough to express when she wants to see her dad and when she doesn't want to see her dad, and I trust my daughter's voice enough to go by what she's saying and what she's comfortable with. Basically, I didn't want to judge enforcing a schedule that doesn't reflect the reality that my daughter has known for her entire life, which is living with me, being with me, mommy. And I wasn't going to risk that just to get it on a piece of paper. At the end of the day, and I know some people are going to disagree with me on this, but at the end of the day, yes, it does take two to tango, but I made the decision to bring my daughter into this world, and I made a promise to myself when I made that decision that I would take care of her with or without the help of a man. So yes, I gave her dad what he wanted, or the easy way out, because my peace matters and so does my daughter's, and being in and out of a courtroom for custody or child support is not the life that I want to live. It's not the life that my daughter deserves to live. And I know at the end of the day that me as her mother will always have everything handled for her. I'm very, very happy to close this chapter and move forward, just being the best mom that I can and continuing our reality, which is her and I. Keep your faith. Keep your children's best interest at the forefront of your mind, because at the end of the day, they are all that matters.
I mean, we have to give her credit for just trying to find common ground, especially for the child involved in the whole situation. I mean, she could have just kept it the way it was, but she chose to try to make it work. And more importantly, take it out of the government's hands and at least try to see if it could work out this way. This was what she felt was best. And I feel like that's a good direction. At least try to work it out. If you put money in the middle of things, man, it really complicates a lot of things, man, especially when it becomes when it comes to two parents and you have a child involved. You know, it's really complicated. So, like, I commend her. There's a reason why I made this type of video. Most of these women are really on the positive side. You know, it just shows that there's maybe hope. Still a lot of work to find this type of opinions in these women who think this way. But it's just to let you know that, you know, they are out there. It just may take a while to find some. But hey, feel free to let me know what you think in the comment section, as always. I mean, this is a reaction channel. We listen and we react, and try to understand what's happening and what we're watching. And this has been it for this one, man. Like, as always, until the next one.